I know what you're all thinking. Didn't you just make a video about level 1 traders? Well, yes. Yes, I did. And I honestly did not think that this wipe would change a whole lot in terms of what you can get at the early levels of the game, considering that they haven't been changed in a couple wipes now. But you know what they say when you assume something. So, I decided I'd better make an updated level 1 trader build guide, because there was actually a lot that was removed or changed with this recent wipe. So with that being said, strap in and let's get into the video. Just like the last video, I'm going to be focusing on only items that can be bought from the traders, so we won't be including the barter trades. This is just to simplify things for newer players, as they will be able to get right on and buy these items from traders without having to even go into a raid. Now before we get into the builds, let's talk about some changes that happened that caused me to make a whole new video about these level 1 traders. One of the biggest changes that was made was they got rid of M855 and 762 PS from level 1 and moved it to level 2. This completely changes what guns you can use because of the limitations on ammo. Not only that, but they moved the 8R from level 1 skier to level 2, which I know that the 8R was a fan favorite for a lot of players early wipe. Other than that, there wasn't too much that was changed, but due to the big change in ammo, it really affects what guns you might consider using. So let's get into the new builds, that way you won't have to worry about that problem. To start things off, the SKS and the VPO 136, which both use 7.62x39 ammo, have been dramatically nerfed because of the change in PS ammo. The SKS, which used to be everyone's go-to gun, really is not that great anymore, considering the best ammo and the only ammo you can get from level 1 traders is HP, and HP ammo does not do a lot of penetration and deals more flesh damage, so I guess you could like people to kill them faster, but in my opinion, it won't be as effective as someone who is aiming for your chest or your head using better ammo types. So the SKS and the VPO 136 should only really be used if you can kill some scavs and stockpile PS ammo. Other than that, I wouldn't really waste your time on these guns, and I'd try some of these newer builds I'm going to be suggesting later on. So with that being said, I would only keep these weapons as honorable mentions now due to the ammo change. Now that that was said, let's get into some better options for this wipe. The first, and in my opinion, the best gun that you can get at level 1 trader this wipe is the AK-74U. The reason why I think this gun is the best for level 1 this wipe is because it can be modded to add a grip, a laser, red dot, and it can even have a suppressor, which is extremely valuable for those who play solo and are looking to try to stay under the radar. The way to build this gun is to buy the suppressed AK-74UB from Prapper. Buying the AK-74UB or the AK-74UN variants are important because they come with a dovetail mount, which is extremely important if you want to add an optic to your gun. And trust me, you're going to want to add an optic because the iron sights for this gun are not that great. So after you get the gun from Prapper, then you want to get the B11 handguard from Skier, which this handguard comes with 3 rails on it already, allowing you to attach a grip and 2 lasers or flashlights if you want. The grip that I recommend using is the RKO6, which is also bought from Skier at level 1. And this grip gives you a little bit reduced recoil as well as it gives you +5 ergonomics. Now if you want to add an optic, this is where the dovetail mount comes in handy, because with that on there, it allows you to buy the Axion Cobra dovetail sight right from Prapper and you can put it right on your gun. But if you don't like that sight, then there are still more options for you. You can also get the Cobra mount from Jaeger and equip it to this gun, which opens up more options for your optics. But personally, I like the Axion Cobra sight for early wipe either way. So for my case, it is just cheaper and more convenient just to buy the dovetail version of the sight from Prapper and use that rather than buying the Cobra mount in a separate sight. But it's completely up to you and what sight you prefer. Some people use the MRS, some people use the PKO6. It doesn't really matter. Whichever sight you prefer to use is the one you should use. This weapon is great for close to medium ranges. It can be absolutely deadly if you can get a good grasp on your point firing. Adding a laser or flashlight can help with this, and early wipe, this thing can mow down a ton of players. The best part about this gun is the mags and ammo can all be bought straight from Prapper for a pretty cheap price, meaning you won't be worried about finding or looting ammo or magazines, as they are easily accessible from Prapper level 1. That is why I think that this gun is the best that can be bought and used at level 1 for this recent update. Keep in mind that PS ammo isn't the best ammo that you can get for this weapon, but for early wipe, it should work just fine for you. However, there are some limitations with this gun because it is limited in range. So to counter that, the next gun that I suggest using for long to medium range is the VPO 215 from Jaeger. This gun is great for early wipe, especially to level up your sniper skill, and it is cheap and you can add a sight right on the weapon from level 1 Jaeger. The UTG 25mm ring mount, and the PLOD 4x32 scope. These can all be equipped directly onto the VPO and you'll be good to go. Now unfortunately, this sight is not the best if you compare it to some of the other meta scopes in the game, but for early wipe, the scope can do you some justice. especially when it comes to using longer range fights to your advantage. Another great thing about this gun is that you can get a suppressor from level 1 skier and put it on this gun, making it very quiet and very hard to track where the shots are coming from. So it's great for solo players who are trying to stay stealthy. The suppressor is the R43 366 TKM, and like I said, it can be bought from skier at level 1. To equip this, just take off the cap from the muzzle of the gun and it will go right on without needing anything else. Similar to the AK-74U from earlier, all the ammo and magazines can be bought at level 1 from Jaeger, which is why this is another top gun to use because of the easy access. The next two weapons are something that I found a lot of success with this wipe, and that is the Mosin and the double barrel shotgun. These two weapons are great for those who are just looking to buy a gun, get some ammo, and get right into a raid. These two guns both pack a punch for the lack of modifications that can be done with them at level 1. There's nothing more terrifying than hearing a Mosin shot in the distance and knowing that there's a loose Mosin man on the run running around the map. And the reason why it's so terrifying is because the Mosin does lethal damage even if you're wearing level 4 armor, which is going to be the best class of armor you're going to come across while you're in early wipe. If you can hit your shot with an iron sight, then I highly suggest using a Mosin because you can one-shot headshot mostly everyone, and if you don't hit the head, then it will only take a few body shots to take them down as well. The best part about the Mosin is all you need is the LPS ammo from Prapor and you're good to go. The same goes for the double barrel shotgun. This gun is absolutely deadly early wipe, and all you need to do is get shells from Jaeger, and that's it. I highly recommend the 7mm buckshot or the express buckshot, and to be the most effective with this ammo in the gun, I would just stick to double action and try to leg and stomach people. These two weapons are great for people looking to stick to the cheap side of things and go minimal. The last gun that I want to talk about is the VPO 209 from Skier. This gun didn't really change much from the previous video, except you can only get the AK-100 series polymer handguard if you complete Gunsmith Part 2. Other than that, you don't really need much from this gun, just a Bastion dust cover from Skier and a sight of your preference and you're good to go. Keep in mind, although this looks like a standard AK, it's not. It shoots a weaker ammo being the 366 TKM, and it's only single fire. But since everything can be bought from level 1 traders, I still think this is a viable option for those looking to use a single fire assault rifle. Also keep in mind that you can only get the 10 round mags from Skier level 1, so you're pretty limited on your ammo capacity as well. Other than that, this gun can be great for those medium range engagements where you're mainly just going to be single firing anyway. Another downside to using this gun is that the Bastion dust cover that you can get from Skier is oftentimes sold out, so you might not always be able to get that for this weapon. So I suggest you use some of the other weapons I mentioned earlier if that's the case. Well, that pretty much sums up everything that has changed and everything that you can do at level 1 traders this way. I'm sorry again for jumping the gun on my previous build guide, but now I hope that this updated one can get you guys back on track for this wipe and hopefully future wipes as well. Thank you again for watching, and comment down below if I missed something or if you have any other suggestions or something that I didn't cover. Don't forget to subscribe because next week we're going to be going over level 2 traders and the best builds for that. Thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.